right. So if anybody needs to get up and take a piss,
Oh shit!
Turn the air conditioner down, or get another.
Let me get this damn dog together. I'm about to
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. We'll be right back to continue with round 2.
These empty bottles about to get filled.
You're gonna be like on Dumb and Dumber, pissing in beer bottles. All right, hang on. I'll be right back too.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll see you guys later.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Air conditioner was off. It was just a fan. No wonder it was so fucking hot. God damn.
Only if you guys could hear my father right now. He's bitching and moaning about politics even more. And it's like such a headache because it's like, Dad, you know absolutely nothing about it, but you think you know everything because it's purported and put on TV as if it were real. And I just like, can you just please sit down and watch the people that I watch just for like a week and then just like get on the same page real quick? Like, it's so funny because like the other day recently, he another guy, John Harris, and him were all sitting down in the office, and then me and John were just shooting the shit, going back and forth talking, and my dad's just sitting here like kind of like stupefied because like I'm talking about subjects he has little to no idea about. He's like, "Oh wow, you're smart, Nick," and I'm like, "I tried telling you, but like."
Dad, I've been around knowing this shit for a minute. Pay attention.
Oh, saw that. He done muted his camera. Ain't that about a bitch? What he about to do with the dog? Hold on, man. I'm gonna report him to the animal. What's that shit called? No, not PETA, but the that one. That one there. I'm gonna report
the Sarah McLachlan version.
yeah.
I whip out her music.
No, when I tell you that dog is full of energy nonstop. Nice. Like I'd have been over his house and just played with it for hours. He don't stop. I had to be like, time out, Kobe. Like, goddamn, I'm tired.
Chill the fuck out, dog.
Yeah, I've been sitting on the couch throwing a toy, and I'm tired. Chill out, dude. You going too hard.
And I forgot
get him some CBD medicine, man.
Yeah.
Rub it in his gums. Rub it all up in his gums. Watch him just. Watch him go night.
Man, he got so much energy. It don't make no sense. He can do it nonstop. I'm like, bruh, listen, I'm sitting in the chair. I'm tired. I'm throwing the toy. You running. You doing all the energy. Right. You doing all the action. You running. I'm like, okay, I'm done with you.
Yeah, that's like Adam has this dog named Baloo, and everybody's huge. It's like he's like part Great Dane. He's an enormous dog, like the exact opposite of Kobe.
Them the kind of dogs I love.
You're right. It's sweetest dog in the world, and everybody's like, "Why is your dog so sweet?" I'm like, man, the contact that dog has to have being around Adam all the goddamn time. How you calm a dog down? Some weed, man. You get that dog around some fucking weed and it will come right the fuck down.
His name is Baloo. You know, he's named after a happy-go-lucky bear on a Rudyard Kipling book.
Is you eating with chopsticks?
Yeah, he eating with chopsticks.
Let me go. Hold on, I got to go back to my smart book. Ain't this about a book?
Right here, man.
Chopstick section.
Check me out. Check me out. Look, Corey.
I see. Chopstick section. Okay.
Yeah, I apologize for taking so long, but apparently your boy Kobe just decided he want to take a huge shit right in the middle of my damn living room. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last 5 minutes, cleaning up a big ass shit that he left for me. Like clearly that's what he's been waiting on.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, maybe that's why
He
was
needed to
staring
go
at you the whole
outside. He was
time.
like, "Listen, goddamn it,
That's
I'll
how
tell
you
you."
let him,
Bro, I let him out when I got home. Like,
He
and
was
I-
like, "Psych, I got another one."
well, hold on. Let me give context. Let me give context to that, right? So, the first time I went to his house, I like to hit a deer. Okay, going to his house, like almost died from a deer, and I didn't believe black people hit deer until I went to his house. Right? I didn't think that was logical. I worked in the body shop before, the car dealership for Chevy. Everybody hit a deer was white. I'm like, okay, they don't got no problem with us.
And female.
Till I went to his house. So him letting Kobe out, it's too much shit out there. It's foxes, it's raccoons.
Look, man,
deers.
you don't hit
He
a
was
deer.
scared.
A deer hits you.
Well, listen,
Right.
That deer's
Those
got
things
like
are
fucking.
monstrous.
listen, I
They
was
got
about to hit
fucking-
everything but him because I didn't have no car insurance when I went over his house. So I had no money to get my shit fixed. So no.
So,
Look, we are well into the Anarchy After Hour.
right.
Just going to remind everybody one more time to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get the
I'll
notifications.
be right back.
Share. Remember, it takes 2 shares to speed the spread of the show. If you aren't aware already, we have from the Brown Paper Bag podcast, G. Frage and Saul G. And Marcus just left to, I don't know, he didn't take the pee break when the rest of us did.
Yeah, he got a tinkle. He got a
And
tinkle.
Kobe took a shit break.
Yeah.
He's like that dude from American Pie. That's what Kobe's new nickname is going to be, shit break.
Shit, right.
We could call it that. But no, so we were talking about like the future, you know, where this sort of connection goes and everything.
Oh shit!
And, he's gonna light it up. He's gonna go
Baby!
Hunter Biden style. Oh no, it's
Hold
just
on. Let's call my wife.
Yeah.
Her and Marcus to be best friends. Shit, she love that shit there. But go ahead, my bad.
No, so while I clean my sushi out of my teeth, what do y'all see? So like imagine you're not starting what you're starting. Where do you see, because it's gonna have an impact on those types of connections as people's Twitter accounts get destroyed, as people's YouTube channels get taken down and all that sort of stuff. You still have that problem of people go to YouTube to find stuff. So we're going to have to find a way to get them to your platform first, right? So in the meantime, well, what happened to Saul? Saul just disappeared.
Zim's Alabama out of here. His phone probably died. I don't know.
I don't
No,
know.
he got
Yeah,
internet.
he was
Kobe
on
did
a-
some shit.
he was
No,
on a computer.
It's Kobe.
Kobe ran by and knocked his cable out the wall and pulled the cord. All right, well then I'll just ask you, Corey.
All right.
What do you see? What's the future of this as we move into? You understand what I'm saying? Like thinking of like the way that you and Saul met. When people's accounts start getting deleted and channels start getting taken down, some of those connections just will not exist because they can't happen. So what does that look like? What's the answer?
I think that what it looks like in the answer is this here. It's like, you know, everybody wants that freedom, right? And I think that's the opportunity that we're going to provide for everybody. It's just that freedom. Like I love using the example of Minister Farrakhan, because I'll be honest, that's one of my greatest influences, right? Whether you agree or disagree, it's like I've never heard nobody speak the way that he speak and have no fear behind it. That is the American freedom, especially a freedom of speech. You don't have to you don't have to agree with it,
Right.
but the fact that he's not afraid to say it, regardless of what the backlash is, he's going to say it. And so that's the platform that, you know, our desire is to create a platform where everybody has that ability to have that freedom of expression. And I think that that's what is going to attract everybody from what we're putting together. Is that you don't have to work. Like, for example, me and him talked about it the other day. We was like, what if a neo-Nazi want to come on our channel? A neo-Nazi on the channel, right? We're not taking him down. You know, what if
a paleo Nazi wants to come on the channel? No, I'm just joking.
Well, hold on, let me get my smart book. You know, hit me with some shit. Let me get my smart book.
I mean, just paleo is old, neo is new. It's
hold on.
Anyway.
But once again, y'all gotta say I got a GED, okay?
All right.
My GED
here
stands
comes
for
Saul.
That don't mean shit,
That's all
bro.
back.
That
No,
don't
no,
mean
no.
shit.
No, I'm gonna tell you what it
Yeah,
stands
your
for.
GED ain't worth shit. No, that's what Nico said.
Yeah,
I'm just
Hey,
joking.
but Nico,
Shut up,
hold on,
man.
Nico, it's an
What did Chris
acronym for.
Rock call a GED? Good enough diploma, right?
Exactly. Yes. Good enough diploma. Yes. So that don't mean we the smartest in the world. It was just good enough to
The
say
best
we graduated.
follow up. The best follow up to that was
Yeah.
you need to go to college. And he was like, "Bitch, it was obvious high school was kicking my ass."
They kicking my ass.
What happened, Saul? Kobe kicked your power cord out the wall, tripped the breaker. What happened?
It was
You just ghosted on us, man.
Let's like, you know what I'm saying? Let's just keep
you
reclaiming
want
my
to
time.
alleviate all the
We'll
smoke
get-
from his dog.
Pretend like nothing happened.
Reclaiming my time, please. Reclaiming my time.
We'll get in the chat after the show is over with. We'll talk about that. 'Cause it's something funny. It's something funny. I know it is.
No shit, right? So, all right. So what we were talking about was like the future. You know what we had talked about before we transitioned to this episode of the show, where basically what do things look like when Twitter starts canceling, deleting people's accounts? Facebook has already. I mean, Marcus has experienced this, where like our show channel has gotten slapped on the wrist. His personal channel has gotten suspended multiple times, a ton of times. We've seen it happen with a bunch of other people. One of the people, G.I. Mary Jane, she's had her stuff like completely. The only thing she has left is her personal page. They're cracking down on stuff, and they're not really like, they're basically at the point where they're like, I said what I said, you're banned.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter what you think or what like we make up the rules. We, you know, the golden rule. We got the gold. We make the rules. Fuck you, basically. So how do you agree that it's gonna cramp down on people like you and Corey and like me and Marcus, and me and Nico being able to meet up? Some of those connections are just not going to happen, right? I mean, it's definitely. I don't know how you could say that isn't going to be the path that this goes on. But then, how does what y'all are building help to give a new avenue for that shit to happen?
Well, number one is I feel like you can only take so much, right? It's a situation where you can be at a job, like it could be a woman, it could be anything that you don't enjoy the experience, but it's kind of sort of like you're just there just because of convenience or it's just something that you're basically used to, right?
Right.
Like it's just common nature to you. So
or obligation or whatever. Yeah.
Right, whatever it could be, but it's a situation where it's going to come a time where people are going to be tired of not saying what they want to say. People are going to be tired of feeling like, you know, oh, you say we have free speech, but really we don't, because Big Brother is watching me while I do my show. The algorithm can catch me up, and there's not even a human being these days that is sitting around. It's not like there is a you know, some sort of like people viewing monitors all day.
If somebody had told you episode this at this timestamp is what got flagged, so I went and looked at it, and this is what y'all said that was wrong. Like nobody told y'all. They didn't have anything like that. It was just like, you did all hours worth of content, like hundreds of hours worth of content. Somewhere in those hundreds of hours worth of content, y'all did something wrong. It's in there somewhere. Look at our rules and see if you can remember when that happened.
Figure it out.
But
it's on you, man.
But to be honest with you, the extent of what they told us wasn't even that deep.
Yeah.
It was just like
we went line. We went line from line based on what their community guidelines were. It was like, did we violate this?
Y'all couldn't figure out anything.
No, we couldn't. Go ahead, Saul. But I just want to add that.
Yeah, I mean, because actually, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, well, wait a minute. You know, I do have the email, so that might help. So, yeah, that'll make this real easy, right? So.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and read it.
Yeah, I'll just read it to you, because, like, that'll make this whole thing go easier, because it basically just explains what happened to us with No, and this was on December 5th. So. It said, this is the one it said, well, hold on, that was the first one. So let me go back to the original one. Because, like, okay, like, for example, it was a situation where it was just, like I said, pretty much an instant thing. It wasn't anything done to to really do anything,
To
right?
warn
Like,
you, yeah.
yeah, it was just like I said, oh, okay, cool. Your account is suspended, and there's basically nothing you can do about it.
Right.
But
Yeah, like Twitter will say delete the tweet that is in violation, and then you can have your account
do you
back.
agree to delete the tweet type stuff, right?
Right.
But it says okay, so the only one I can find right now is we have received your account appeal and we'll be back to you as soon as possible. And then it says, hello, thank you for your account suspension appeal. We have decided to keep your account suspended based on our community guidelines and terms of service. So that's basically all they really ever said. They didn't even give like a concrete answer to what it was. Okay, so here it is right here. So here's the one right here. This is 5 days ago. We'd like to inform you that due to repeated or severe violations of our community guidelines, your YouTube account, Brown Paper Bag Podcast, has been suspended. After review, we determined that activity in your account violated our community guidelines, which prohibit spam, scams, or commercially deceptive content. Please be aware that you are prohibited from accessing, possessing, or creating any other YouTube accounts. For more information about account terminations and how our guidelines are enforced, please visit our help center. That's it.
So they just said, fuck you, you never get to use YouTube again.
Yep.
Yeah, but nobody
Holy
explains what in the world is spam, scams, or commercially deceptive content.
Right.
And,
Which
and none of what you
video
do,
are you talking about?
Even like, I can't even like fathom where you fall into that.
Right.
Like if they had said something like that, like we talked about, like the copyright thing or something like that. Where, like the memes or something like that, where it's like okay,
Disney got involved. Disney saw my Avengers thing and got mad.
I put a clip from Chucky, whatever the fuck the Child's Play. Put a clip from that in there, Child's Play 2 or whatever it was, with a voodoo thing to make fun of Marcus. And then I put a Star Wars thing because I don't know if y'all heard that story, but like my son. The scene where Princess Leia and Han Solo are in the bottom of the ship or whatever, and she's rubbing her hands because she hurt herself, and he comes and he like rubs her hands, and she's like, it's okay, your hands are dirty. He's like, it's okay, I don't mind. Anyway, it was something like that. They end up kissing, and my son is 4 at the time. All right, he says, kissing lips reminds me of peeing. I'm like, whoa. Come again? He says, kissing lips reminds me of peeing. I said, all right there, big fella. Care to elaborate? He says, yeah, it makes my penis stick out. And I was like, okay, this man is 4 years old, and he is just sprung from watching Princess Leia and Han Solo kiss. I'm like, all right, well, at least it's a man and a woman.
Yeah, he ain't gay. He not gay. So yeah.
So anyway, so I actually put the Star Wars clip in the episode, just because I was referring to it, and we got like the little, hey, this won't be monetized because of copyright. There may be a copyright claim. Basically, the algorithm, I think, just like picked that out and tagged it and said there may be a copyright claim on this, so you won't be monetized on this thing or whatever. And I was like, whatever, I don't fucking care. So I was thinking like maybe that might be what it is, but none of what y'all got hit for. I haven't. Full disclosure, I've not seen every second of every episode y'all have ever done, but I have observed the content that you put out, and it ain't that kind of content.
No.
Where there's deceptive or spam. How the fuck y'all get spam? Even I realize they have like these blanket statements. It's like an umbrella of like these 3 things, of Orient are. It could be any of them. But Jesus, man, that's.
You was a guest on our show before, so you know exactly how we do.
It ain't like that.
Like we didn't change it up based on who was on there.
Right.
We just base our questions around the people that were on.
Right. But it's the same format, same style.
Yeah, because like you was on a panel with Sonny and Hotep Jesus.
Yep.
Like, and I was throwing questions out there because remember, Saul's shit was fucked up. We was in the same room, but his internet was fucked up. I don't know how that was.
I was waiting for him to just like start talking into your mic.
Yeah, it was the same Wi-Fi. I still don't get that show. That was what.
But we kept it in that same realm.
Yeah.
Right. We never changed it, no matter what show we were doing. We kept it in that same realm, and for us to just get banned, like I ain't gonna, like I say, it crushed man, that hurt it. Because
no, I can imagine.
Once again, I've been to prison. I found the lane that I was doing good in.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of opportunities for me out here.
Well, so the thing that you were going to do, what was the name? What was it called?
Corrected Felon Podcast.
Corrected Felon. Was that going to be like? Are you still going to be able to do that, or are you?
No, yeah, we're going to do it on our platform.
You're just going to yank. You're going to say, "Fuck you, YouTube. You don't get my content." Yeah, good on you.
The purpose of the show.
I'm gonna share the shit out of y'all stuff, man. I'm gonna share the shit out of it.
See, and the purpose of that show, like I know a lot of people that was incarcerated, that's out doing good, and so that was what I wanted to highlight.
Right.
And I never got the opportunity to do it because they yanked our shit.
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of hurt because, like I say, everybody that been to prison is not bad people. Like, yeah, we fucked up. We all fucked up. We was in the streets. We did some fucked up shit. Like, for example, myself, I went to prison for something I didn't do, but that don't mean I wasn't guilty of the shit that I was in the streets doing. But what I wanted to highlight was the people that was coming home that were married, that were fathers, taking care of their children, that were working jobs, that were entrepreneurs, and were doing the right thing, and they canceled our show, so I could never get the opportunity from YouTube, which we're working on it now to do that. But at that time, YouTube, and I was going to highlight that.
You know what I think YouTube likes to do is it likes to pick a specific time that it wants to remove videos. So since, like, you know, black people are at black people's throats, and then the community's trying to figure itself out. And you having positive, uplifting votes or voices, they don't want to hear that shit. Just like how they have war videos banned on YouTube, people saying it's bad. That shit shouldn't be banned. Like, it's very simple.
Yeah.
But, you know, since it's not going with their message, they have everything because it's a privatized platform.
Yeah, the reason I was taken down off of initially, I got back on and then now I'm off again. The reason I was taken off Facebook was because I'm anti-war. And that is exactly why I was taken off.
I'm with you.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the thing is, though, what we're facing and what we're looking at, I watch a lot of shit. And sometimes I see connections, okay? One of the things that's come into our new understanding now that Biden's the enemy instead of Trump is that China is now the bad guy instead of Russia. All right, they're doing the same shit they did with Trump, with Russia, with Biden. But China is some real shit. Putin ain't trying to fucking fuck with the United States. Putin's trying to run his shit and be done with his shit. You know, he's an ass, and I get that. But
Mafia
China,
boss on his block.
Right.
Yeah.
But China's trying to take over the goddamn world.
Oh, without question.
Yeah. And so what they're doing is they have infiltrated. There's plenty of fucking evidence, especially lately, of them doing that. Look what they're doing in Hong Kong. They're clamping the fuck down on anybody that's challenging them. I do think that Corona is part of that too, and I think it's part of the plan, if you will.
I was just saying no Corona because I coughed. That's all.
Well, I'm saying that I think that Corona. I think that the disease we're not supposed to fucking talk about is definitely part of that plan. But the problem is, and I've said this for some time, and is that they're biting off more than they can chew. Because people are getting pissed, and you can see it in Hong Kong, you can see it in France, you can see it all over the world. And this is one of my favorite quotes, and I quote it all the time. And it goes back to something that you guys were saying earlier. And this is by John Locke again. He says, but there is only one thing which gathers people into seditious commotion, and that is oppression. The more they oppress us, the more we will rebel, and the more we are not going to fucking put up with. And it will cause people like you to create, you know, you're not the only ones with this idea. I was working with a friend of mine a little over a year ago with a platform that sounds very similar. We didn't have any funding, and we couldn't get it done, but it was called Voluntary Visions. We we're putting that together. Ben Swan, and if you haven't seen what Ben Swan's doing, I sincerely hope that you look him up. He's doing a very similar thing. And one of these projects, whether it's yours or it's somebody else's, will break through, and it will catch on.
Or
And
several of them. I mean, I'd be totally cool if there were like 10, 12 different places where you can let them compete with each other and see who can bring the best content creators to their platforms.
Correct.
And we, and it doesn't even have to be like a cutthroat competition sort of thing. It's just like, look, man, I don't have anything against y'all, but like, I like this stuff, like I don't have to hate HGTV to watch ESPN. I just watch ESPN. I don't go shit on HGTV. Now I'll tell my wife to turn that shit off.
Me too.
I don't want to watch another fucking. I'm like, y'all are watching porn, basically. Like, y'all are watching. So think about it. Like, HGTV, all those little house hunting shows and everything is porn for women.
Yeah,
it's you watching some other people do some stuff you're never gonna do, with some stuff that you're never gonna do it with. It's the same damn thing. So it's like
the addiction concept is the same damn thing. You
it's
release
like
the same amount of dopamine.
You're watching these people; they're walking around in flip flops, talking about whether they want to throw $3.5 million or $3.7 million down on a house. I'm like,
and then your wife looks over at you, and then looks back to the TV.
Yeah.
And looks back over at you.
What's the difference between that and a fivesome on some? Pornhub or something like that,
For sure.
Like, some shit ain't never gonna happen to you, so just get over it. Just move on. Let's watch the Falcons lose to the Saints. Oh, sorry, man, I did.
Punch him in the gut, kick him in the balls on that one.
You don't hurt me. I've already said, and they're falling right in. Oh shoot, my prediction is no longer up. I forgot, but I said the Falcons are gonna go 6-10, so they're pretty close to my prediction. Anyway.
Hold on. Eddie.
Did y'all win this weekend? Yeah, y'all won, huh? Yeah, y'all won.
Came back, Matthew Stafford, number 9. I'm about to go on a rant on y'all shit.
Yeah,
that's
that's all good. I just had to.
I'm
in Louisiana, so I'm a Saints fan.
Keep that
it's cool. I was just going to say that
y'all.
I think that when you talk about where the future goes, right? It's a situation where, like I said, you have the people who are going to remain compliant and complacent and just stay where they're at and just complain until they just, it's like a situation where we have all these platforms, right? And, we're in the after hours, so we can just talk regular right now, right? Yeah, okay, cool. So, like, you got Twitter.
It's still going to be on YouTube, but it's
I didn't know the second hour. Okay,
So say fuck.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
You have all these social media platforms, right? And basically we complain about the censorship. We complain about, the fact that we can't say what we want. The fact that we're somewhat afraid to speak freely on a platform. We have all these things going on. And I think it's a situation where, you have different things going on. And the more we complain, the more we just still stay in the same place. Oh man, I hate this platform. Well, let me go make a post. Yeah. Oh, this platform censoring me. Okay. Well, let me say something inflammatory and get all these people to comment on it because blah blah blah. You see what I'm saying? So it's a situation where it's going to come a time where you're just like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the censorship. I'm tired of holding my tongue. I'm tired of not being able to say what I want. And I think that's the sad
begging
part
for
about,
permission to say it.
Right.
That's the thing. Is we
begging for
ultimately end up
permission
doing
because this is one thing we talked about. If the place where we just got kicked off at, if you don't create videos, if I don't create videos, if they don't put music videos on there, how to do videos, it's a blank platform.
Yeah, it is.
If
they're stealing content from people, basically.
Yeah, they are.
Right, but it's
you're giving it to them, but
but that's the thing, though. They don't understand their platform is built off of us. Like the platform where you sent the link, right? If we don't post, they have no platform. It's just blank space. It's nobody talking to each other. It's nobody interacting. So that's the reason why we said when we create our platform, we don't care what you talk about. We just want you to bring an audience so we can just go ahead and take our little percentage off the top.
Yeah.
But you get to make all the money you want. We're not concerned about trying to restrict your speech.
Right.
Because as long as you're bringing money to the channel, we don't care. And I think that's where these social media platforms have gotten way too comfortable because they know that, oh, basically we're replaceable for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can let you slide on. Yeah, we'll give you your 70% of money that we don't even deserve or anything like that. We'll give you a little part of it or whatnot. That's cool because they know at the end of the day they're replaceable because everybody. It's almost like we said. We you know, Google is a verb now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Google something. It's a verb.
Yep.
So it's already in our mind of not to go to any other search engine. Same way it is when we go to social media platforms.
Right.
Hey, do you not know how to do something? Oh, look it up on that platform we just got kicked off of.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Exactly.
You know what? See, this is the issue. And it's like during the financial crisis in 2008, when big banks thought that they were too big.
What is this?
I don't know, man. You
Man,
got a
she
lot.
trying to get, my bad, man. I thought it was
Drink-
on mute.
the
but
drink
she's trying to
ninja-
get me faded. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The drink ninja is doping you.
But
Yeah, man.
what I was gonna say is like, you know, it's like 2008 when the big banks thought they were too big to fail during the financial crisis. It's the same thing with these tech companies, right? They don't fear nobody else stepping up and challenging them because they think they got everything on lock.
Yeah.
And so, like, when we create this platform that we got going on, that we're creating, and once we get it out there to where you have total freedom of expression, now we're a threat, right?
For sure.
You know,
And
it's
yet,
like,
in the
Well,
financial
go ahead.
realm, you could become the next Bitcoin.
yep.
You know, for the financial realm, they never saw Bitcoin coming, and then
Nope.
boom, cryptocurrency right there. And that's
Yeah.
what you could be.
Which I always say that cryptocurrency always exists. Like, for example, I got direct deposit, right, with the company I work for.
Right.
So they tell them this is how much I made that week,
Mm-hmm.
and you have access to that to do whatever you want to do with it.
And there's not
You know,
any money actually moving.
It's
It's
no
all
money.
ones and zeros.
Yeah, I just have access to have $600 if that's what I made that week. If I need to put it out, but the big banks is going to do with it what they want, and that's the thing that
Right.
we, as the regular American citizens, need to start doing is challenging these conglomerate companies. For example, like what me and my brother doing, we're actually going to challenge YouTube. Let's see who can provide the better, not necessarily content. Yeah, you've been around for a minute, so you got all the widgets and all that shit going for you. But the thing that we're going to have is freedom of expression.
Yeah.
You know, and that's going to be the challenge. That's going to be the challenge. It do, because like we're not banning you because you're David Duke, Minister Farrakhan, or whoever. We're not banning you from that. You know, you can say whatever you want. You got to deal with the comment section.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can
That's
get
the
Alex
thing. It's like
Jones
deal
on
with
a
the comment
thumbnail
section now. You
of
said
yours.
your shit. Deal with it.
You got to deal with that. We're not going to ban you because some liberal says, or some liberal community say, "Oh, no, they saying this, that's wrong." Fuck you. This is America. We're not Iran, Iraq, some shit we have to censor.
Right.
That the First Amendment right should mean that.
Right.
The difference is you got to deal with the backlash as far as like the people. We're going to let the people
Right.
deal with that.
What were you gonna say, Nico?
Go ahead.
Oh no! My attention span. I apologize. We were on the lines of what?
Talking about the comment section and like anybody can say anything.
Oh, like
Farrakhan,
right.
Duke,
So,
whatever.
like for example, if you could change the game and get all the people that were banned, what 2019, like a few years ago, if you were able to get them to have their faces on the front thumbnail, that changes the whole game. Everybody's going to look at YouTube and be like, you know, my favorite conspiracy theorist over here, and I could go check him out. So
Alex
like
Jones,
that changes.
Farrakhan, Laura Loomer. You know, if you bring it home, like, come on now.
Derek Bros. The thing is, the anarchist community is right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not trying to dive into race, but that's one of the things that they like to do is they like to fucking point out this is ran by this white dude over here. Y'all's faces on the front of that fucking platform changes some shit.
Well, actually, technically, there will be a mascot that will be the CEO of this company.
Right.
So the mascot's technically. I guess you could say he's white, but he's kind of gray at times, depending on the day of the week. But yeah, I mean, I get that though. But that's the annoying part, though, right? it's a situation where when if somebody was like, oh, you know, look at this right wing, blah, 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 or look at this, whatever they want to say, oh, they allow racists on their site. The KKK has a site on this, or whatever the case may be. And it's just like, you know, all these different things they have going on. And it's like, I don't care. David Duke want to have a site. How many super chats is David Duke getting?
Right.
Let me get that 10% of David Duke, because the point of it
is his money green?
No, all I'm saying is no. Time out. All I'm saying is I don't care. I might end up being a quote unquote a self-righteous billionaire once I get there. Yeah. But the bottom line is, find me a billionaire and find me an ethical one. It's very hard to do, because remember, even Tom Steyer, when he was running for the president, he said, yeah, you know, I felt bad about that, those horrible, what did he used to sell? It wasn't mortgages, but it was something kind of sort of in that financial space that he knew was suspect. Yeah. Either suspect investments or something. But
in the savings and loan thing?
Yeah, he knew he was doing something suspect to get there. So my whole thing is, I worry about being self-righteous when I get a billionaire. But if I ain't no billionaire, I don't care what you're talking about. Even when I get a billionaire, I'm trying to be on the beach somewhere, and I don't care what in the world. Oh, I'm getting alerts saying, oh, my God, somebody's doing blah, blah, blah. I don't care. If they're not breaking the law, and they not breaking our 5 rules, I don't care. As long as a child or something ain't on there, because I'll definitely hop on my horse and say, we do not allow this on my channel. I ain't gonna have no algorithm to stop.
Well, and the thing is, if you set all that stuff up before at the very beginning, because what's been frustrating about this whole thing is that YouTube keeps changing the rules as the game's going, and stuff that used to be fine is now not just not fine. It's just get the fuck out of here. You don't have a channel anymore. And I wanted to ask you, Nico, to touch on. You brought this up a while back about how they pick this time to go after this. They'll take a specific time and they'll be like, okay.
Yeah, they choose lanes. They choose lanes.
Well, how much do you think that some of that is also like a way to bring more attention to YouTube? Because all publicity
is bottlenecking. What it does is it forces you down a certain lane or a certain perspective. It's just like our everyday lives, like our everyday internet. You're shown these specific items,
pop-up ad or whatever. Yeah.
Green is go, red is stop, but in all actuality, is green really go? We only just synchronize it because we see it every day while we're driving, but that's not always the case. Green could be weed, green could be money, green could be grass.
Pus. It could be pus coming out of a wound.
Right. So what they do is
smart book again. Y'all talking smart. Okay.
They let you see only a specific lane. So if you're seeing on the outside of the lane and seeing it in multiple dimensions, oh, that man's a crackhead. That man's this. That man's that. Like, he's not valid anymore. As long as somebody has a different viewpoint than you, you're not valid, because therefore you're fucking with my opinions, and nobody fucks my emotions or my money. So it's like, if you mess with me, and especially nowadays, you can't mess with anybody's emotion, because as soon as you say something that doesn't align with them, they can have a whole firing squad at your door.
Man, you're right, and that's the shit that kills me. Is like, I'm just gonna say it like this: the alphabet community, right? I'm gonna leave it at man.
No, he's not talking about that alphabet community. He's talking about the other one, the one that Dave Chappelle talked about.
Yeah, like if you don't align with their opinions, then you're anti. And that's the problem with America right now. It's like, I got a 6-year-old daughter, and it's like, if I don't want her to absorb your content, I have that right.
Well, the thing is, like, let me ask you this to that point, because this is the thing that pisses me off about that shit, is that that community wants to put that stuff in the faces of children. They have like this, story hour with somebody, whatever, transgendered story hour or whatever the case it may be.
Nothing against transgenders,
or the strip pole thing or whatever. Yeah, but putting it in front of kids. I want to ask you this: how much have you seen where heterosexuality has been in your face promoted to children.
Right.
Where they have had people like on stripper poles and all this other kind of stuff, all like in your face with it. No, it's not even, you don't talk about it. You don't talk about sex with little kids.
It's behind the
You
door.
you don't, and like that's the thing that bothers me. It's like, for example, my daughter, she has I think it's probably like a 20-inch TV monitor on her wall, but she don't have access to the internet on her TV. Like I pick and choose her DVDs because at the end of the day, it's like I want my daughter to focus on having fun, being a kid.
Right.
You shouldn't be worried about what your sexuality is at 6 years old.
For sure.
Or world politics or anything.
None of that. Be a kid. Be a kid.
Right. You should learn the explorations or your creativity. You should be peaking at different things of your imagination. It pisses me off at how overly sexualized the world is. I tried having this conversation with my cousins, and it's like, I mean, I'm not going to go down that bunny hole to the furthest extent, but this world is really overly sexualized. I'm like, kids don't need to worry about what a sexual orientation a couple is, because at the end of the day, they have one job, and that's to grow their conscience. Now, granted, their conscience is a part of their gender and all that, but that's with experience and that's with age. Now, when a kid is curious, you break it down to them to a certain degree to where they can comprehend it. But other than that, it doesn't need to be Bob and Bob in a math class. It doesn't need to be, it could be little kids. Little 5-year-old Jim and little 5-year-old Sally went to go to the playground and they spent 5 minutes on the swing. That's it. That's all. Those, like, there's no to say, oh, well, Bob's married to Bob. Like, there was no need for that. How does that
how does that become part of the kids'
how does that add math? How does that compute to math? And so therefore you change the attention and you do the little rewiring. And it's like there's a bigger picture than that. Like there's a much bigger picture people don't understand about the whole spectrum. And so it's like, go ahead, Marcus.
I was just going to say, yeah, but if what I'm gathering from what you're saying is they're focusing these kids on all this shit that doesn't fucking matter.
It don't matter.
Right. Meanwhile, they're not teaching them what math is, what science is, what fucking all the real shit that they need. And the reason for that is because they can put them under their thumb. When you're stupid and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, it is easier to keep you under your thumb. I'm going to fuck up the quote, but it is the same thing that Frederick Douglass talked about. It is, you cannot have a slave that is educated. As soon as you become educated, you stop being a slave.
Yeah. No, that's facts.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I think when you talk about, especially when you talk about children, like when you talk about the creation of the site, that's the one thing that we want to create the site for. It's not for children. You must, that's going to be like one of the other things. You got to be 18 or older to access the site. Now people say, oh, what about little kids get on there? I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, if somebody says they were born in, I guess how you got to be, 2002
2002 now, yeah.
To be 18,
almost
Jesus
2003,
Christ.
shit.
Oh my God, we're old. 2002.
My daughter's about to be 18. This is.
Oh
man, I feel
2002 is 18 now.
Call me.
Yeah. Anyway, like
you go again with that bad muscle discipline.
Right. The way I look at it is like this: if we are trying to protect our children from certain things that we're trying to say and do, I think that we should be allowed to be able to do that. However, I think that the world is trying to advance our children much quicker than normal.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I grew up in the 80s, so there was nothing sexualized about G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, Tailspin. None of this stuff was sexualized. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Shout
you know
out to
what I
the
mean?
Wuzzles
Like gummy bears and stuff. You know what I mean?
You can't go on a bootleg site without like a porn ad just popping up. Like
right. But that's the point that I'm saying. I think that there is not enough attention paid to that type of stuff. But once again, people will want to censor things. And that's the one thing, like I said on Twitter. I remember one time I got banned for Twitter for explaining the Malcolm X quote. But meanwhile, there's straight up porn on Twitter that nobody seems to have a problem with. And I'm like, look, I was explaining a Malcolm X quote. I wasn't calling anybody a derogatory word. I wasn't saying anything. Malcolm X was talking about the field Negro versus the house Negro. And I said, in my opinion, that was his version of calling somebody an Uncle Tom versus or a coon or something like that. I said, that's what he was saying. Ban. You know what I mean? I'm suspended for Twitter for explaining the Malcolm X quote. Didn't call out anybody for one of those names, but that is the type of censorship that I think is ridiculous. But when it comes to children, I believe that, number one, the access to this content is a little bit too easy.
Yeah.
But I think I don't put it on, and this is just my opinion. I don't put, like, for example, I don't put the fact that I used to sneak and watch late night HBO because that was as bad as I had. I don't blame HBO for having that content available.
I did that shit too. I got caught doing that.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I as a 16-year-old, kid was, hey man, I'm trying to watch Pimps Up, Hoes Down. You know what I mean? Like, I know what time it came on, and I'm trying to sneak up in there and watch it. But I don't blame HBO for making a series on Pimps Up, Hoes Down, because when they created that series, it wasn't marketed towards me.
Right.
You understand? That's the reason why I had a problem with the thing that you were talking about, Marcus. Like, why are you even talking to my children as some sort of thing? Because once again, it's not like they said, okay, we're going to have, transgender story time, and tomorrow Mr. Marcus and Anna Nicole are going to come by and talk about porn, and let's talk about porn and talk about sex and sex toys, which are kids. There's no point. Right. So it's not just because it's in that alphabet community. Right. It's
because the content is not appropriate. It's not developmentally appropriate for a kid. Because here's the thing, like, we don't even know, like, I don't know how many y'all went through, but like, I went through the phase of like, girls were gross. Like, you just hung out with dudes. You're like, girls are stupid. Girls are like weird. I don't want to be around girls, all this kind of stuff. And then you hit that other phase where it's like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Girls are the shit.
No.
You know what I mean?
I can only speak.
And if somebody had been in my head telling me, the reason you don't like girls is because you're gay. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like that's what they're doing. They're doing that before that age.
But Chad, I had the young, like, hunting stage though when I was like 6.
I had that, dude. I was macking. I was kissing girls on the mouth in kindergarten, man.
Correct, right? But that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't. But it wasn't the only way. Even though it looked sexual, you were just repeating what you saw.
Right, exactly.
Right?
That's all.
You know what I mean? The motion, and when y'all be laying on the cot, y'all try to get close to each other, stuff like that.
I didn't do all that stuff. You had a different.
Man, please. I used to be getting it in on them cots, man. I used to be in there trying to get it in. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, like, that's what it was, but it was because I was mimicking what I saw. Right, but I had no idea. It was like, if he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I wouldn't be like, "Yeah, I'm having sex with her." No, it was just like I'm just doing something that kind of makes me feel good. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. So the way I look at it is, the reason why it kind of now goes to a perverse area is because now you're offering. Because bottom line is, I could have been doing maybe what I saw my parent, what I saw on TV, but it's like now you're starting to do some experimentation with some stuff that I had no idea what was going on at 6 years old. And I think that's where the problem comes in. Too much information.
For sure. And it's also your parents are generally, and there's freaks everywhere, but generally parents aren't going to be like, "Hey, Susie, this is sex," and she's like 3. That's not going to happen.
Because your parents love you and they want you to be developed appropriately at the right time for everything.
But also, when you put it into a stage, like whether it's in a library, in a class, or it's in school or stuff like that, you're putting an authority figure that automatically the kid's going to respect and want to emulate.
Interesting. Marcus froze up. I thought he was done.
And be like. So,
you're good.
So you can hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, I must have frozen up.
So,
I think mine.
So
you're eating that bullshit.
So, you're giving credence to it. What the difference between when you were talking about going to HBO is you had to sneak, and you knew that you had to sneak.
Yeah.
When you're having it at the school or you're having it at the library, that means this is acceptable. Society has said this is what you should do. Now, when I have friends that are gay, and I have friends that are transgender, and all of that, and I don't have any problem with that. What's funny is I don't think any of them would be trying to have a conversation with I have a 10-year-old little girl. They're not trying to have a conversation with her at 10 because they're not trying to brainwash her. They're not trying to make that acceptable because they understand that's their life, that's their choices. Those are the things that they have chosen to do. And at that age, no matter what the thing is, I don't care if it's our politics. I don't care. My little girl believes the way she believes because she has seen things come out. We struggle and we tell her, if the school says this is the way it is or whatever, yes, we try to inform her of different opinions, but we're not trying to push those opinions on her because we understand that she has to develop those things and those ideas on her own. And that's the problem with what they're doing by putting those authority figures teaching.
No, I agree with you. And it's like, for example, with me with my 6-year-old daughter, right? Like Saul know it. Rest of y'all may not know it, but my oldest stepson is gay. Okay, and he fell on hard times to where he moved back home, which is, as a dad, you're supposed to, allow that, but you give a time frame. But when he fell on hard times, the guy that he was in love with, is still in love with, got kicked out because they found out that he was gay. So my oldest stepson came to me and said, Dad, excuse me, can my friend move in with me? I say, under one condition. He said, what's that? I said, that your sister never see y'all in your light.
Right, and well, the thing is, that's your house.
Exactly.
They have to abide by your rules.
Well, see, my thing was I didn't want her. She understands me and her mother. So if she gets older and decides to do something different, cool. I mean, that's out of my control, right? She's at that age to where she made that decision, especially 18 and older. But I didn't want her to see that and be like, okay, I'm confused now. I see my older brother and he with another guy, but I see y'all. What is the truth?
Yeah, what does this mean?
I mean, it would be kind of difficult because you can't really necessarily control her outside situations. Granted, your home,
Once again,
you have Corona, but like,
yeah, I can.
No, he means like when she leaves the house, you're not following her around and everything. So you don't. Yeah.
So it's like, there's certain things that that granted you try and like have them view a certain way, but like they get older, then they get introduced to TV shows or different things of their life. Granted, you did say you control the movies that she watches.
I do.
Yeah, but it's like the alarming rates of them just. I mean, I have no problem with anybody, and then
no, me either. I'll say this real quick, Nico, and I'll let you finish your point. It's like me either, because like I got a multitude of family members that's gay. Okay, I have no problem with that. My only problem is that when you're trying to feed that to children to make them decide, right? Allow them to have those experiences once they get to a certain age. If that's what they decide to do, I'm fine with that.
I don't want a kid thinking about sex, period, at that point.
Period.
I don't care if you're heterosexual, I don't want you doing all that shit in front of my kid.
I just want my daughter. I want my daughter to just be a kid right now. I want her to be hyper, full energy, thinking that she can do a backflip off the couch. That's what I want to see.
Is what they take away from is like the importance of sex. It's not just for the fun, it's for the reproduction. So it's like you add another layer to it, and they just say, oh, you can do it any time of the week, this, there, and so therefore it's like the lack of discipline that they try.
Whoops.
Right, but I think one thing that doesn't really get a lot of attention or doesn't get talked about is, to me, it's the lumping in, right? Like, for example, they'll say just because you're in that community, y'all all believe the exact same way. Like, I know gay people who don't agree with being transgendered and vice versa.
Yeah.
So a situation where it's like, oh, because you're gay, you believe all of this stuff. Just because, and that's the same thing anytime you
You're
try
saying
to
you're not a POC?
group. But that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You have all these segmented groups that they want to create.
Right.
And what they'll try to do is they'll try to put you into some sort of group and say, okay, you are this way, you must think this way.
Right.
Or you are this way, you must agree with all of this stuff. But the bottom line is, they don't even want to see the nuance in the community. And what I always tell people is, when people start talking about equality and all this other stuff, when I talk with my friends who are gay, I go in on them the same way I would go in on my homie that's dating the ugly girl. I'd be like, yo, that chick's busted.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I go in, but that's when people start talking about equality. And what I tell people is, equality means I don't have to censor myself and I don't have to hold back.
Yeah.
And I can say whatever I want to say in front of you and not feel like, you know what I mean, I'm restricting myself. So that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? When I talk to a dude, I'm like, you know, because I remember one dude, I was talking with my friend and he was like, oh my God, this dude's so big. I was like, I don't even know if that's a good thing, but it sounds like a bad thing. I don't care. That's you, do your thing. You know what I mean? But it's like, that's how we talk back and forth.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying, but I don't have an issue with you being that way. But I think a lot of times, just because you're gay, people want to lump you in to that whole community and everything that the community agrees with. And it's like, no, everybody in that community doesn't believe and think exactly the same way.
No, and all this stuff has done a terrible thing to the comedy community, because like there are some great jokes that are just dying because of political correctness.
Yeah,
like, I mean, it's like this. You know, those kind of jokes that you can tell your friends that you're like, you can crack on your friends a certain way, but then if you say it in public, like all kind of people who don't even have anything to do with that joke or can get all butthurt about it and everything. Like, I can make fun of Marcus when it's just being Marcus, but guaranteed if I go in on him hard enough, you know, somebody's going to see it, and it's on this show, somebody's going to see it and be like, I can't believe you said something about, you know, Santa Claus goatee wearing motherfuckers or something like that, you know?
You know, it's like, if you were to even attempt to play like Eddie Murphy Delirious nowadays, like Eddie Murphy
or
would
Raw already.
Yeah, ass ties out his ass. Like Pryor would get lit on fire, and it's like, y'all can take dick but can't take a joke. And it's like, oof, I did it. And so it's like, therefore, like my toes will get shot off because I said that. And it's like, bro, what? Like, we can speak this dialogue. I didn't swing on you or nothing.
Right.
But if you feel like you don't like my rhetoric, then be gone. You don't have to stay around.
Well, that's what I was going to say about the whole thing with the platform. Like, there's a mute button, a block button, and a off switch for a reason.
Yeah.
Just walk away, turn the shit off. Like, isn't that what we've always been told? Like, I remember always hearing that stuff about like, when I was in like media law school and stuff like that in college. There was all this stuff about like
smart book.
There was all this stuff about
smart book. Let me find
but there was all this stuff about the so I could bring up some of the language that's actually used in that about like pornography and obscenity and everything, and it's something about the prurient interest is one of the things that you have to. And I was like, prurient? That's too many R's real close together. I can't even say that shit right. But anyway,
let me in my beer behind that one. Shit.
Right. No, so it was interesting. Like the idea that always came up was you can turn the radio off. You can turn the TV off. Why the fuck can't you turn Twitter off? Why can't you turn YouTube off? Why can't you just not watch the Brown Paper Bag podcast? Why you gotta get it banned so that now I can't watch it? That's fucking bullshit.
Selfish too.
It is. It's extremely selfish. It's ridiculously selfish.
There's too many selfish people out here. I mean, we live in a selfish world. Don't get me wrong. And a selfless. There's people who's out there who's most definitely more than willing to give. But for you to feel so offended about somebody's content that you feel as if you need to be the one to bring it down, it's like you don't even consider the other person's point of view and how they come across things. So therefore, you're the more ignorant person on your part for even trying to breach that line of hoping that you break somebody down. Like, I'm not going to agree with them unless they're like a Hitler type person. That's
have you ever have any of y'all ever wanted to like make somebody not exist on a social media platform before?
No.
I've
Nah.
never once
No,
thought
it's-
about like
it's a waste of
reporting
time.
someone or trying to get
Paul
someone
said
banned
yeah.
or anything
Yes.
like that.
Yes,
Huh?
I
I
have.
haven't. I haven't.
Yes,
You have?
multiple times. I wanted people to just go away. Yes, multiple times. Yes.
I mean, you know what?
No,
I
wanting them to
haven't.
go away. I'm not talking about just like thinking like, God, I wish this person
Oh,
would
you
go
talking
away.
about? Did I
mean,
want to snitch on somebody?
Yeah, snitch on somebody.
Yeah.
Nah, not
that's-
snitch, but I did want them to like just go away and not come back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I wanted people to like, lose their platform, but I wasn't gonna do the reporting or try to get their channel taken down. But I was like, man, if this person was no longer around, my day would be good. But at the end of the day, I had to take my own advice because I remember I told somebody the same thing that we complain about with the platform that took us down.
Mhm.
If you don't like the content, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm following somebody and I hate them. And everything, oh God, they're on my look at this, look what they said. Oh my God, look what they said today and blah.
Why are you following me, motherfucker?
Why am I following this person, right? Because I'm only following them to just go and say, you need to, bitch, you need to shut up.
That's why I stopped watching the news.
You know what I mean? Like,
the news just got me mad, and so I
right,
was like,
yeah,
I don't need
I'm
this shit
following you
anymore.
because I'm a hater. I'm not following you because I actually enjoy your content. I'm just following you because I'm a hater, and I know you're gonna say something inflammatory, and I want to be the first. Oh, this is so stupid. Oh, you're. That's what I'm saying. So, as far as banning people, I was like, no, but I had to take my own advice and say, instead of taking the philosophy of you shouldn't be allowed to say what you need to say, I just don't need to watch whatever it is that you're saying.
Exactly.
But you should have the platform to say whatever it is that you want to.
I mean,
That was one thing I had to do.
That's my take on it. It's like I see a lot of shit on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and it's like once I read the caption, especially if you put a caption on there. Once I read the caption, I keep scrolling. Like I don't even give it the time of day, and that's my take on it because, like I said, I don't indulge in it. I love my energy levels, so I know if I dive into your bullshit that I'm not gonna like. Like for example, on Twitter, I don't follow nobody that I think I don't like their tweets. Like, for some reason, I blame Saul for it. Right, him and Naomi. I got a bunch of MAGAs, right?
Don't blame me.
Yeah, I'm blaming y'all.
Nah,
I'll put some there, y'all will retweet it. But when I go look at they homepage, and I look at their tweets, it's like, no, I'm not following you back because I don't want to see that shit.
Right. Oh, you mean people following you?
Yeah, people that follow me, and it's like most of my Twitter followers are because of Saul G, Naomi. All these people, but if even if you're a MAGA person, if you can make sense, then I'll follow you back. Like if you can make sense, that's what I look at. But if you just one of those lunatic crazy people, even if you're a liberal, if you're a lunatic crazy person, I'm not following you back because I don't want to see your content. I don't want my energy vibes messed up. So.
Right, but I'm gonna just give you a quick story real quick because this is funny. This is the reason why I don't like algorithms, right? Because I feel like you should be able to follow people who you want, right? You should be able to go look for them, search for them, find them, follow them, right? Because I created before we got banned, I created a profile of my for my comic book show, right? And I followed myself, right? And after you follow somebody, it tells you who to recommend. The people who were recommended that I follow after I follow myself was so horrible. I was embarrassed, and I wanted to actually go back.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
Man, no, because it was like I'm gonna tell you, I don't even care, man. It was like you should follow you already know you gonna get on me, Chad. But it was like you should follow Anthony Brian Logan, Brandon Tatum. And the third person was the Rob Smith.
Rob Smith, oh shit!
Those were the three people that recommended that I should follow after I followed myself.
That's
and
awesome.
I was like, "What in the world in the algorithm is going on?" That
I'm clipping this shit and I'm sending it to Uncle
I know you're gonna
Hotep.
clip it, but it was ABL, Brandon Tatum, and Rob Smith, and I'm like, "You got to be kidding me right now!"
That's hilarious.
Like. You don't. I mean, it was nobody even in the middle. No, I mean, I would have been fine if it would have been like Sonny Johnson, Hotep Jesus. I would have been fine.
It shows you though how stupid and superficial so much of this stuff is, right? That they're just like, hey, you're black and you follow like a black, I don't know, political, but not quite like, you know, Roland Martin or anything like that, you know. So we're just going to give you the top 3 black YouTube personalities that are on that side of center.
But that's the thing.
It doesn't even have anything to do with
I don't even really follow people like that. I don't follow any of those people I just named.
No, but the people who watch your show do.
I do follow ABL. I do take that back. I do follow ABL. And if you look hard enough, wait, hold on. That's just funny because we're in the after show. But if you do look, it ain't even hard to find. But I actually did a show with ABL too. So
you gonna say that, but won't cuss on the after hour show?
Yep, that's right. That's right. I am. Yep, no cursing. I already cursed because I said bitch. Remember when I was talking about the girl I didn't want to follow? So I did curse.
That was an example.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But you see what I'm saying? I just think that the bottom line is this. You should be able to say what you want to say. If a platform wants to restrict you and not allow you to say what you want to say, you can come over to our platform, because what's going to happen is kind of sort of like what we believe might be happening next year, right? Biden's already came out and said he might do 100% mask mandates across the country if he shuts it down. There are going to be people who are going to be able to rebel against these mandates that are being placed against them. So bottom line, what's going to happen is you're going to go on Twitter and you know what? I want to say, you know, I hate black women today. And then you get banned. And then you're going to get tired of getting banned every time you say how you feel. Like you might just be having a bad day and just be like, it don't even matter whatever it is how you feel, but you can't say exactly how you feel. And then
but certain people can come out and say they hate black men on election day, and they don't get banned. Black men, you know, you can pretty much, it's open season depending on if you use black men as a whole, right? You can pretty much get away with anything.
Yeah, you can.
If you're in the right group, you know what I mean? Like you can't come out saying like,
oh no, I couldn't say that.
Yeah, now if you're a white person and you come out and you say black men are the scourge of society, banned. Right. But if Jamel Hill comes out and says it, let's retweet this, and you see what I'm saying? So it
you can even be white and retweet it, and you'll get away with retweeting it. No problem.
Correct. So
thank you.
That's the reason.
Thank you for backing up black women.
Yeah, that's the reason why, like I said, the platform that we're creating, we as a platform, unlike a lot of these other places, we understand basically, like my mom used to say, where our bread is buttered.
Right.
Yeah. So we don't want to piss off the content creators who right now our channel is empty. Right. Our page is empty. It doesn't have anything on it. You know why? We don't have any content creators. So if we start getting some, we don't want to try to piss them off because,
that's what YouTube did too.
Channel.
Yeah, that's what YouTube did too early on. They weren't banning people early on because they didn't want to scare people off. But then they started, once they got you in, got the hooks in you. Yeah.
Right, but that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way it was supposed to continue. So that's the reason why we're saying, hey, look, we're going to open up this space where, first of all, you can have a platform, you can make money, you can monetize your space, you can own all your content, and we're not going to be Big Brother and watch over you. We're not going to sell your information. We're not doing any of the things that a lot of these social media platforms do. We are content with making our money when you make money. When you make money, we'll make money. Advertisers are going to come when they start to see the amount of traffic that we have coming through. But guess what? If Aquarian Anarchy said, hey, Saul, man, we love what y'all are doing. And let's say, Bacardi comes up and Bacardi says, hey, we want to advertise with Aquarian Anarchy. Cool. Aquarian Anarchy can get that money directly from Bacardi. Yeah, we're going to take a little off the top. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, we're going to take a little something off the top, but 90-something% of that is going to go to you. You understand what I'm saying? But it's like, instead of having, like, because I know, like, a lot of people, when they create these platforms, right? When you go on their platforms, it's ads and crap everywhere. Anytime you click on some ad, you know, you subscribe ad, you do, it's ads. No. We're not doing it that way. We're saying, if Aquarian Anarchy came to there and somebody says they want to advertise your show, cool. You can have ads on your personal or on your channel page, right? So that way that money's going directly to you. the advertisers will know that people are clicking on your page to get their advertisement, so they'll know whether or not it's a good investment or not. But that is how we're trying to do something differently, and we're just saying, hey, look, when you get paid, we get paid.
Mm-hmm.
That's a simple symbiotic relationship that makes sense. I'm not trying to tax you to begin with. You know, if you say whatever you want, hey, look, we got a special guest coming on. We're going to charge tickets. You got to get your tickets to view to get the link to the show. You charge $3. You might sell 50 tickets. That's $150. Cool. Bam. Here we go. Let's go ahead and knock off our little 15. You know, let's go ahead and charge you for the transaction.
I see 90 something
fees.
Became 90.0 real quick.
Right, but you see how it works. It's like, bam, you got everything that you were supposed to get, and everything worked itself out. Because like I said, we're not making you jump through loops, and it's not like you're losing money, right? It's like you're making money, and we're just, I mean, because it's fees. We don't have no way to process payments, right? There is no Saul G Financial where it's like I'm trying to get more money, right? It's gonna be PayPal. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna be through one of the major, very, very secure payment providers that are out there. But I think people will. I
want to say this though: you need to get in the mode of thinking about that payment platform too, though, because that's what happened with some of these people. That's why Andrew Torba ended up doing what he did. He created Gab. Then they took him off the app stores. Then they got it to where he can't use PayPal anymore, can't use Stripe, can't use Square. Created his own browser. They wouldn't let him have his shit on like Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Firefox or any of this shit. Created his own browser. You know, that some of that stuff, like depending on how far you think down the path of where this is going, you need to think about that sort of stuff too, because that's going to be a big consideration. Is you don't want to have your payment vehicles clipped off too.
And that's the one thing that I always try to say. Like, it would be, it's all going to depend, because the other thing about it is people can talk about payment being clipped and things like that, but at the end of the day, if you're bringing them a certain amount of revenue, they're not going to lose that revenue stream just because they want to make a point about something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially if it's a broad-based platform or whatever.
Right.
And so you can also take it in steps. You know,
correct.
You know, you can, like you said earlier, you want to become whatever it is the next step is going to be. If you're starting with this and then you do this, and that's what happened with PayPal. You know, you had eBay and then you wind up with PayPal and so on and so forth.
And then they combined and
so you just build.
Right, but that was going to be the main thing. The main thing was going to be, can I create a platform where I can run our 4 shows and we can do the things that we want to be able to offer to other platforms? If the answer
because I was pumped about the shows that you and I talked about when we were on the phone.
Right,
you know?
but if you understand, but you see what I'm saying? It's like, if we can create that for ourselves, and that's what I had told somebody today. I said, at a bare minimum, we have a platform where we own our masters and we can do our own content. If that's the worst that it ends up being, I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah, right.
Well, guys, it has been another hour and 15 minutes.
Yep.
I do want to kind of move towards closing it down. But I want to say, I do want to point this out. One of the things that you were talking about towards the end, when we were talking about transgenders and gays and all of that stuff, is the thing that we are facing is the thing that we face all the time in our society right now, and that is force. What we are facing is people forcing their opinion on other people. We are facing people forcing and using coercion to control ideas. Everything is about force. In the beginning of the first show, you guys talked about that. Saul, you were more of a conservative, and Corey, you were more of a liberal. You know what? Y'all are both voluntarists. You believe in a voluntary interaction amongst people. I can see it. I saw it throughout this program. So you had said also, Saul, that you might be able to speak anarchist by the time you're done. You're already speaking anarchist because you're already talking about voluntary interactions. That's what anarchists talk about. That's what voluntarists talk about. One of the things that Adam brought to the table is that when all of these arguments get weeded out, if you can take it to the individual, if you can take as far down to the community as you possibly can, and you localize every single thing that you can down to your local area, the closer you get to that person, not only does it function better, it becomes more voluntary. So I invite you to call yourselves anarchs, because you are. And because you are
It just means you own yourself. Yeah, you own yourself. That's all it is. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't have an issue with any sort of label that fits, because, like I said, I'm always in the mode. I mean, you can even tell from what I post on Twitter. Like, I love pointing out the hypocrisy from what a lot of people talk about, and that's what I always say. Like, you know, no matter what the topic is, I always try to say, well, which one's the least restrictive? You know, which one gives you the most amount of freedom? And I think that's a problem that we keep finding in this society is people want to try to restrict freedom. And I say, why? Why do you want to restrict freedom? Most of the time on the right, you'll get something like morality. A lot of time on the left, why do you restrict freedom? Because you're worried about protecting somebody's feelings. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm saying freedom is just that. You're free to do whatever it is that you want, as long as your freedom doesn't infringe on my freedom. Who cares what you're doing? You know, so much time is spent on social media. It's spent in just these random discussions that we like having. And you're trying to impose your will, your quote unquote morality on people who have no interest in your morality. So I never understand why people try to sit there and do that. My thing is, if it doesn't affect me, then it can be left alone. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, if you know, people will say, oh, well, you want to quote the Bible? And I'm like, well, you don't read the Constitution then. If you live by the Constitution, then there's some things that you want to impose on other people that are unconstitutional. Honestly, I don't care. It's a situation where a lot of people want to try to move people to the left, move people to the right. They want to try to move people towards a certain politician, towards a certain anything. Everybody is pick a side, pick a side, pick a side. I'm like, look, if you're about freedom, then I rock with you. If you're about the least path of restriction, I rock with you. If you're consistent in what you say, I rock with you. It's those other people that I can't get with. So that's why I say, if that makes me an anarchist, cool, I accept it. And, you know, I'll change it in my post as we speak. So it's all good.
Well, no. So the term that we have discovered is the term anarch. So you have like monarch, then you have like oligarch, and yet so anarch is like anarchist has kind of gotten this negative connotation, but it also has like as Marcus has described it, it means that you are functioning in like a society of anarchy, and we don't have that right now. So instead, the term anarch, which just means that you own yourself and you rule yourself, and that's it. And that you're not trying to impose your will on anybody else, and you're not trying to rule over anyone else.
Let me go to the book of smart shit, right? Y'all have some shit, right? So like I used to watch the show Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
right? That's one of my favorite shows. So if this what it's about, I'm with it. And I would just add the son, Saul, right? It's like he put it in all those pretty terms. I'll just put it like this: don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. Yeah, I'm an anarchist.
Yeah,
so.
There you go. Well, look, so let me. So I do this thing when I'm on the road. There's this little sushi restaurant down the road from here, and y'all saw me eating with my chopsticks earlier and everything, and y'all were making fun of me. But one of the things that I always do is I always go and I pull the fortune cookies, and it's always, you know, kind of it's interesting how it works out. It always seems to be something that fits whatever we're talking about on the show. So I'm going to read y'all the fortune that came out of this one. Prepare today for the demands of tomorrow. Plan your move. So as you and your platform move forward, you know, let's because that's kind of where we were when I popped that thing open. I was like, oh goddamn, here we go.
Really?
But I want to thank you guys for coming on. And I wish you guys the best with the future of what you're doing. And I think we definitely Marcus and Nico and I can talk about it after, but I think I can safely speak for us when I say that I think we will be putting our content on your platform too. So
that's what's up, no doubt.
So we really appreciate you guys coming on and chopping it up with us. It was great. I love you guys, and I mean that. Like I met you guys in person, and like it was really, really dope to get to spend that time with you. I wish it could have been longer. I wish we'd have had more time together. But this was great, and I look forward to future opportunities to chop it up and do this sort of thing again.
Sure. And hey, man, you ever come to Indiana? We got hippies in the woods naked. You guys are gonna have to come check that shit out.
Wait, what part of Indiana? You know, I drive trucks, so I was through Indiana today.
Well, I'm from
You were in Indiana today?
Yeah, I was in Indiana today.
Marcus, right outside Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Shit.
Well, like Seymour? Where you at?
Now I live. Do you know where Lapel is?
65.
It's 69. Do you know where Anderson?
I know 69.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
69
Anderson is just in between Noblesville and Anderson.
Gotcha.
Little town called Lapel. That's where I live.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, no, because I mean, I'm everywhere. Like I'm in somebody's like city. Like I said, I was in Missouri Monday. I was in Wisconsin Tuesday. I'm in Atlanta, and I came.
Listen, I know you go down to I-10. If you ever come through Baton Rouge, you don't fucking let me know. I'm gonna be mad.
Well, I don't normally ever head that way, but it's all good. I know that now, so it's all good.
Well, I'm gonna say this here. Hey, Marcus, I'm from Michigan. I'm there at least 5 times a year.
Right.
I gotta come check you out. That ain't nothing but no more than a 4-hour drive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Nico's in Chicago, man.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking with Nico. Hell no.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
No.
I always say
We gotta meet. No, we gotta meet somewhere in the middle. We gotta meet up with Marcus. I'm not fucking with Chicago.
One of these days, man.
Look, from my rhetoric, you know I'm not no threat. I'm just the
It ain't
young
you,
cool brother.
No, it ain't you. It's
Chicago.
Listen. That's the biggest side of my family in Chicago.
Yeah, but see, no,
I
I
don't
just
go
say
see
like,
them. I don't go see them because that shit's so wild.
right. I just always say, as long as there's a truck stop near you, I can be there. Because I know when you talk about being I-10 in Baton Rouge, there's some like, I remember there was some, I was in Baton Rouge maybe like 2 months ago, and there was some like,
Oh, he ain't holler at you, Chad.
purple and green and yellow. Well, once again, wait.
Fuck
This
that,
was,
Chad. Fuck that.
nah, this was before the conference. So this was like I
Okay.
said, this was before that. But anyway, like I said, it was just one little truck stop. They had a little casino and all this other stuff, like not in the middle of nowhere, but it was in Baton Rouge. So I know who and where people can go. Like I said, if there's a truck stop near you, hey, I can pull up. If there ain't no truck stop near you, I can't pull up. That's all I'm saying.
No, I would say this here. Like I was in Louisiana 2 years ago, and I wish I'd have known you then, brother.
Yeah, no shit. I'm glad we got to hang out in Atlanta. That was
because you know what? Saul wasn't even at our table while he talking all this shit.
He wasn't.
No, he wasn't even at there with me
Well,
and you.
You know, I was working on some things that we didn't discuss in this.
Yeah, you let everybody to speak English. We spoke English at our table. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Pero yo hablo español también, okay?
Well, look. We didn't get to the P word on
Mi
this
esposa
podcast.
cubana.
So we'll have to talk about that in the future or whatnot. Chad knows what I'm talking about. We didn't get to that P word that I'd like to talk about from time to time. So since we didn't get to that, I was working on something. Man.
I'm not working on that. No.
Yeah, you know I am. So it is what it is. So yeah, like I said, I got one. You know, you saw she's kept my drink refilled, but I'm trying to work on a second. So we working.
Yeah, I subscribe to the Frank Barone philosophy of women. When you got a woman, if you got problems with your woman, you don't go get another woman. Now you got 2 problems. So I'm good. I'm good with what I got. I got my wife, I got a daughter, and I got my mother-in-law all living in the same house.
Got money.
That's plenty women.
Yeah. Put them in a different room from you.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with 2, but
only 2 I'm subscribing to is what Chad say. Share 2 times.
Oh right,
right. 2 shares to speed the spread of this show.
Hey, 2
shares.
Exactly right. Not with a woman.
It's all good, man. I'm just reverting back to my Kane lineage.
Hey, look, Marcus can tell you. Marcus lived that life. Marcus lived that life.
I don't even want to hear it.
He's
I
got
might
Marcus
try.
has firsthand experience.
I might try it, and I know that shit gonna fail for me, so I don't even want to hear it.
Nice. I'm glad to hear it. See,
Oh, it didn't work out for him either. I mean, it worked out for a little while.
Ooh, yeah, it was boom. It was fun once. I ain't doing that shit again. I got me perfect woman who is way too fucking attractive for me. She is amazing human being. I ain't playing that game no more. But
give Saul all the bad experiences because he think he can do this shit.
it don't even matter. Like I said, it's just like Lay's, man. Why have just one, man?
You ever watch Big Love? No, it don't end.
Yeah,
well,
I seen
man.
that show, but I ain't trying to have no big love type stuff. I'm trying to have one more. That's it.
Oh, all right.
And
he's got a
like
limited two.
Just two. No more than two. I'm not trying to go no further than two. That's it. You know, after two, that becomes too complicated, and we're gonna go on a whole nother tangent. So I'm just gonna be quiet. So
right on.
I feel you.
And guys,
I'm just fucking with you, anyways. It's all good.
Yeah, it's been great.
Two.
he over there talking to Kobe.
Right?
We know the deal.
Yeah, really.
Nah. I'm talking to number one.
Oh, are you really? See, I don't know because I can't see her, so I'm just gonna
Well,
assume
I
you
would put her
bullshit.
on camera, but you know what I mean. Like, y'all ain't. You know what I mean. Like, that's private. You know what I mean. Like, I can't put her on camera and some booty shorts and a tank top. You know what I mean. Like, but she is right here.
I've already seen the way she dodges the camera anyway.
You heard her? She said hi.
Yeah,
Say hi again.
I did hear her.
Say hi.
Hi.
See,
Hi.
she here. See,
Hey,
you
¿qué
know what
pasó?
you
¿Qué
know what you said?
pasó?
Yes.
Yes, you heard that, right? So look, you got my evidence that I ain't out here being trifling. She said yes, she's good with two.
You
So
know
I
what?
just want everybody to know that.
Hey, his wife and my wife are real cool. So let me do this while he do that again.
You just bounced.
He don't want to be on camera when she be talking about that.
No, you just switched our cameras.
No
up
problem with
there.
that one. No, I wouldn't be no problem with that one.
No, my wife has said shit like that to me before. She's been like, "Look, you wanna go step out or whatever, go do your thing or whatever, because I'm tired and whatever." And I'm like, that's some bullshit. As soon as I did that shit, that's a trap. I'm not falling for that shit. So you can do this, and she can say yes all she wants, but start that shit off and then call me in 5 years and let's see how.
Wait, sir. Remember what you said. You said step out. I'm not stepping out. I'm trying, like y'all talk about Hotep and
No,
build.
I'm talking about she just
right,
said.
Right.
Oh, you're talking about you're trying about trying to build an empire.
Hotep and build, right?
Yeah.
You believe in Hotep and build, right? So if I'm trying to,
I can't be a part of this.
Wait, what's one of the rules of Hotep and build is a big family, right? Right?
Can't do this.
Right? Okay, I just want to make sure we on the same. Yeah, don't even agree to it. I know you can't agree to it. It's all good. But I know it's right. But anyway, thank you, Marcus, for having us on the show. I'm not gonna go on no long polygamy or poly talk. Try to blow this whole entire podcast up, but
Can I mute him? I need to mute him now, man.
Hey, look, why you trying to restrict?
You got me
speech,
fucking
man?
washing down a fucking cookie with a beer right now.
If I want to have two, I can have two. As long as they are perfectly fine.
Not on nothing my wife can watch.
Voluntary, man.
Yeah,
Voluntary
exactly.
is good.
I'm not hurting nobody else. If they agree to it and they cool with it, hey, like the same thing you said, you know what?
Hey, listen,
I'm not
brothers.
arguing with you about that.
I appreciate y'all having us on.
I don't know how well
He's trying to get that low down. But yeah, Marcus, man, like I said, we didn't do this earlier, but yeah, like I said, if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter at 50 Shades of Saul G, or you can follow my other handle, which is my comic one, which is Kage Comic on. If you watch Naruto, you know what that means. So Kage Comic on Twitter.
Me Inspires a Block on Instagram and Twitter, same handle. One half of Brown Paperback Podcast, which will be coming back soon. If you need to catch up on us, you can go catch all of it. The audio versions on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on all that. Just check us out, and we got great content. We'll be back though. But once again, Inspires a Block on Twitter and IG.
And the links will be below as well.
Yeah, we'll put all the links below. You need to send me the your Twitter alter ego, Saul, so I can put that in there in our show notes as well.
Yeah, I got you. I got one follower, but it's like I said, I post on that sometimes. But I'm, like I said, that's going.
You about to get two, brody.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna blow up once we get the channel back up. But
No,
There you
wait till y'all see the avatar. It's like some guy that's like 9 feet tall, 600 pounds.
if you watch Naruto, you're gonna be like, yo, that's hot.
He sent me.
watching
He sent me the picture. I say, who is that?
He didn't get it. But if you watch Naruto, you're gonna
I don't
be
watch
like,
Naruto. No.
I got you.
I
Steve.
eat.
I got you.
Thank you, Nico. If you watch Naruto, you're gonna be like, yo, that's hot. Who made that?
I got you.
How can I get one?
See,
of
at the
my own?
sushi restaurant, they have this thing. It's called Kani Naruto. I'll eat that. It's like crab with cucumber wrapped around it.
No.
Nico.
No. Matter of fact, Chad.
So I'll just turn his camera
Go
off.
ask the kids about it.
Nico.
I don't have no gifts and stuff to cue on you tonight. So
I
me
know,
cutting my
right?
camera off was the equivalent of what you just said.
Putting the cat up there.
That's right, man. Cueing
What?
the cat
Oh,
on
yeah,
you.
yeah.
What's up, Corey? What's good, Corey?
No, this guy, this avatar that he got, like this dude was like 9 feet tall, about 800 pounds. When he said that to me, I say, real. I gotta be real. I said, man, who is that nigga? Right? He said, that's my profile pic. That's
It's nice.
That's great.
That's hilarious.
It's like what Corey saw when Saul stepped out the car when they first met each other in person.
yeah. Man, this dude is humongous, man. I'm like, who is that? He like, that's my profile.
For those of people who don't know, Corey's a little bitty dude, man. Corey's
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
Corey ain't a big dude, but
No, I'm not. I literally, like, man. Well, you know what? You ain't gonna be. You know, hey, make sure you edit that part because I don't need nobody rolling up on me thinking they can whoop me.
they already saw you. It's already flashing over and over again, man. You
I don't need nobody rolling up on me. They can whoop me, man. Hold on, man. You can put me out there like that.
You're good 5 times. I don't think they're rolling up on you. I think you're good.
Yeah.
Okay. You might be right.
I look right down the barrel.
It is that's a 4.5. Anybody want to know?
I was about to say I can see the tonsils of that damn thing when you waved it at me. Looking right down the damn barrel.
Hey, he go everywhere. I'm anti-status.
There you go. See? Anti-status is the same thing as what we've been talking about this whole time.
Yeah, man. You tripping, bro. Chill out, baby.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right
Edit that. That's the beauty about it not being live. Edit that. That's cool.
You gotta put that all on me. Everybody's asking me when this shit's coming out. Now I got to edit for 3 hours before I put it out.
That ain't that long. That ain't that long. It's after hours. So, it ain't that long.
I got until Sunday to get it chopped
Right.
up. Okay.
My guy.
All right. Well, look,
All right,
man.
guys.
I love you guys, and I hope we can help promote what y'all got coming, and when you get the Brown Paper Bag podcast back up and going,
Share like
we're going to share the shit out of it. Yep. We're going to help promote you guys, and also, for whatever anybody can, promote our show as well.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get the notifications. Also, go to the store that Marcus has, buy some of the merch. We got awesome shirts and other stuff. We got the banners and shit like that you can get. He's got the Aquarian Anarchy banner that he's got behind him that we can get too. But also, never forget 2 shares to speed the spread of the show all over the webs. That's right. And Marcus, you have anything else you want to send us off with?
No, I think you're good, man. You did a good job.
All right. All the links and everything are going to be in the description of the first hour, right? Yeah. So, and I guess we can put some of that stuff here too. Anyway, appreciate you guys coming on, and
appreciate you having us.
If we don't talk to y'all again before then, Merry Christmas and whatnot as well. Peace. Y'all stay free.
All right.
Love y'all.
Peace. Y'all later. Yes, sir. All right.